fabulous potato salad at our smorgasbord luncheon.
You, too, can win 20 cents for every recipe or simple serving suggestion using any of Rosella's exciting new bistro salads. Send up to 5 ideas and win $1. Just be sure to enclose a different Rosella Bistro Salad label with each one. The address is Rosella Bistro Salad Offer, Box 100, GPO Willoughby, New South Wales 2068. Win 20 cents for every suggestion.
Cricket. Australia has lost 3 for 92 in their second innings on the final day of the first test in Brisbane, with the match heading towards a draw. Australia's hopes suffered a setback when Walters was dismissed soon after play resumed for only 7 runs. However, Laurie and Redpath have combined in a 4th wicket partnership, which has given Australia a lead of 61 runs over the English first innings total of 464. Laurie is 53 not out and Redpath is 8 not out. The score again in Brisbane, 3 for 92.
Sydney. A Sydney man has claimed a record of 1 million miles accident-free driving. He's Mr. Duncan Jarrett, a representative of the Farmers and Graziers Cooperative, who's been driving for 34 years. Mr. Jarrett told us today,
I got my first licence as soon as I turned 17. It'll be about 1936. And ever since then, I've driven on not quite a lot up till the war years. I did a fair bit of driving, but during the war and since the war, I practically lived in a motor car the last 20-odd years, mainly all over New South Wales, occasionally into Victoria, and occasionally into Queensland.
And what do you think has kept you out of any accidents during 1 million miles of motoring?
Mainly experience in driving, knowing your vehicle, reading your road, which I consider very essential. Look for trouble before trouble gets to you.
Washington.
You can take Vincent's with confidence. You can believe it. Tell you why. Vincent's powders are manufactured from highest quality medicinals. Vincent's are scientifically measured and tested during manufacture. And Vincent's dissolve into your bloodstream quickly, bringing fast relief. Simply follow the dosage instructions on each pack, and Vincent's will quickly relieve headache and pain or the symptoms of flu. You can take Vincent's with confidence.
It's a time to care and to show you care. So show it with a fragrant thought from Helena Rubinstein. White Magnolia, in pretty gift packs that are as much a part of Christmas as love. Helena Rubinstein.
It's summertime, 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 summertime.
Summer is breaking out all over this weekend on TUW. Commencing 4 o'clock this Friday, hear these favourites. And hear these vintage hits. Starting 4 o'clock this Friday and lasting all weekend. Summer breakout, TUW.
Yeah, we'll be breaking out. It's 17 after 12. Jeff Hall on the den. Good to have you along. Long John will be back on Monday.
People's place way to go for a new Holden this week. Boyd Ed of Randwick, Sydney's newest Holden dealer, and they're already the pace setters in the eastern suburbs. This week, Boyd Ed want trade-ins, and this is where you can get yourself an extra few bucks. They want those trade-ins now, and they are paying top prices. They're doing this because Boyd Ed must fill their third used car yard, and they must fill it quickly. There's no point in having a used car yard if you haven't got any cars in it. So this is the situation they're in, and this is the situation that you can turn to your advantage. This week, the first 30 inquiries will get the deal they want on any brand new current model Holden, just as long as they have a trade-in. If you've got a trade-in, well, check it all out now with Boyd Ed of Randwick. Give them a call. Send up a smoke signal. The telephone number, if you've got a phone on, 396088. Boyd Ed of Randwick, their phone number, 396088.
You know everything there is to know. You're on Radio 1170.
Miss Petula Clark.
Sing me some songs, Melody Man, but don't make them sound
don't make it wild and start bringing me down. I need some love, melody man, so sing me no blues. Haven't you heard I've got blues of my own? Can't you see my eyes are kind of heavy with regret? Trying to forget him isn't easy. It's not that I'm against the kind of music that you play. It's just that it can bring back yesterday. Sing me some songs, melody man, and come drink my wine. Tell me a tale to make everything right. Sing me some songs, melody man, but don't make them slow. And if I know them, I'll sing them with you. Play your guitar, melody man, play it heavy and fast. Don't make it whine and start bringing me down. Sing me some songs, melody man, but don't make them slow. And if I know them, I'll sing them with you. Down, down,
Petula Clark's Melody Man at 27 minutes after 12 2CH.
3 days a week at 11:30 a.m., an MSA flight lifts off for the East. Make it Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday. You get an all-Boeing international fleet connecting every major city in the Orient. On board, it's pleasure as usual. Find out about MSA's superb Silvercrest service. It's the care we take that helps make MSA Asia's most modern international airline. See your travel agent.
Drive into your nearest Amoco service station and ask for your Snob Mob car sticker and free record. In Fairfield, your Amoco service center is on the corner of Fairfield Street and the Horsley Drive. A young lady who went and did exactly that and got a record cover with a number on it that has won for her a luxury cruise for two with P&O. And we say congratulations to our first cruise prize winner, Miss Yvonne Hillsley, who lives out at Old Toongabbie. Congratulations to you, Yvonne. Have a lovely cruise, darling.
Very warm to rather hot tomorrow, tempered on the coast by gusty southeast to northeast breezes in the afternoons and mostly sunny days. The rest of the state continuing dry in most of the state, only isolated showers or thunderstorms about the central and northern ranges and slopes. Sydney, in brief, very warm and humid. Now today's main stories. Tens of thousands of enthusiastic children welcomed the Pope to Randwick Racecourse today for the Youth Mass. In his sermon, the Pope told the audience they were the hope of the world in the eyes of God and of man. This afternoon, the Pope will address newsmen covering his Sydney visit and later presides at an ecumenical service at the Town Hall. Premier Askin said today his government did not begrudge the teachers their pay increases and the state would be able to pay them. In the first test, Australia faced hostile English bowling on the last day in Brisbane this morning. The score at the moment, Australia 3 for 101, with Laurie on 60. This has been MBS News. Terry Deer reporting.
Wipe it with Wet-X, world's most absorbent cloth.
Help yourself to the wonderful, colourful world of Wet-X products at your favourite store today.
Daihatsu, the truck with the funny name.
Next news at 1.
Radio Sydney 2GB, it's 12:30. That's time for the Roger Bush Show.
And what with the Pope last night reminding Australians of their responsibility in this part of the world, we find too that the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Michael Ramsey, yesterday speaking his mind in South Africa, and most certainly asking and calling Christians to take a pretty firm stand against apartheid. Some of his words, they must do this in order to rid the country of racial inhumanity and injustice, and prevent violent revolution. And he went on to say, the only alternative to violence is very big changes initiated by white people in removing some of the inhumanities and injustices of life. I think we can take both the Pope's words and Dr. Michael Ramsey's words and wrap them together. here are two leaders of churches saying basically the same thing, that men will only find peace and progress when they find each other as brothers under the fatherhood of the one God. Good afternoon, Keith Eadie.
And good afternoon, Roger. What did you think of the Mass last night? Were you impressed?
Oh, tremendously so. I thought it was wonderful. The colour and the pageantry and the simplicity of it. And I was thinking, too, of the number of youngsters, or young people, it seemed to me, in that very service who read the segments of the prayer. They came from all over the Pacific, it seemed to me, and you sort of followed Captain Cook's route through the people reading the prayers and the responses.
Apart, from the very size of it, you felt it had the strength to reach people, did you?
Well, I think so. I think you couldn't watch it on television without being moved. I think it was compulsive viewing, not because of anything else, but for what it was.
Well, it's now 28 minutes to 1 o'clock. I have a dividend here. There's TAB off-course tote dividends on the first race at Kembla. 14, 9 and 10 the placings. First number 14, Irresistible. Good name for a winner. 80 cents for the win, 40 cents the place. Second number 9, Lord Blue, 55 cents. And third number 10, Southerly Boy, 65. That's the first at Kembla. 14, 9 and 10. 80 and 40 for the winner. 55 and 65.
What's for lunch?
Sausages and smash.
Yeah, you mean mash.
I mean smash. From Cadbury. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
Potato from Cadbury?
Perfect mashed potato from Cadbury. You'll think from the taste, lover, I washed, peeled, boiled and mashed them myself.
Fancy Cadbury making mash.
Not mash. Smash. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
New Cadbury Smash. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
The Macquarie Radio Network is proud to announce that we've been authorized by the Catholic Church to produce the only official souvenir of the Pope's visit to Australia. 32 pages of wonderful full-color pictures and stories compiled by top magazine writers and photographers, including Jack Mulligan, the official photographer of the Catholic Church, and Molly McGee, special correspondent for the Vatican for many years. It's authoritative, it's packed with memorable color pictures, and it's the only official souvenir of Pope Paul's visit to Australia. Wonderful value at 30 cents. Place your order with your newsagent now.
When it's raining, don't reach for a gun, reach for a John Sands game. Cranky and noisy children can be difficult when they're kept indoors, but John Sands comes to the rescue with a wide range of age-identified games. Perfect for Christmas giving from 39 cents. And isn't it good to know that while they entertain your children and keep them pleasantly occupied, games by John Sands like Steady Eddie or Pro Soccer are developing concentration and stimulating young imaginations. It pays to choose John Sands.
Part of the family of John Sands games.
26 minutes to 1 o'clock at 2GB, The Roger Bush Show.
Well, there are wage increases for the teaching profession. I'm particularly interested in this because my daughter's going teaching next year and we were wondering just what her first year's salary will be. And when she rang up and asked or discussed it with somebody or other, they said, but these aren't the right figures, there will be an increase. But I'm surprised, or am I surprised, that Mr. Askin is going to have to go to Canberra early in the new year to see if he can find $23 million to meet the increases he has promised to the school teachers. Now, this is all part of the price spiral. I don't begrudge anybody getting increased wages. I mean, it's a good thing that people are being paid what they are worth and getting the amount of money they need with which to live. But if it keeps going on like this, there's not going to be enough money in the till. We're going to have inflation. We're going to have economic difficulty. And the sooner we wake up to this, the better. Yesterday we spoke about the increased price of bread and milk, or the fact that the price of bread may rise. I had a number of calls and I promised to ring somebody in the bread industry to discuss not only the price rise but the quality of bread. And I have on the phone the director of the Bread Research Institute of Australia, Mr. Eric Bond. Good afternoon, Mr. Bond.
Hello, Mr. Bush.
I had some, just to reintroduce you as the director of the Bread Research Institute of Australia.
That's right.
That's your correct title, I guess?
Yes.
Just what does the Bread Research Institute do?
Well, Roger, the Bread Research Institute, I might say in the first place, we're not concerned with the price of bread.
No, I'm not concerned with it either, man.
Research organisation, and This was established by the baking industry of Australia in 1947 to undertake research into bread making, bread baking technology and so on. And it's grown into quite a large establishment over that period, and I think has done some quite valuable work. And it is supported and collaborates closely with the CSIRO.
Now, I was asked yesterday to ask somebody who may know this, and I think you might be the person, that a few years ago it was possible to buy bread that was made of a better quality flour, that the flour that is milled today has the wheat germ and all this thing taken from it. Now, I don't know anything about this, but I'm sure you do.
Yes, no, that's...
Can you tell me about improved wheats or better quality or worse quality flours or what have you?
No, actually, there's been quite a definite improvement in the quality of wheat and actually in the quality of flour over the past, well, it's been quite spectacular over the past 10 to 15 years in Australia. Been a great effort put in by the agricultural scientists and cereal chemists to lift quality standards. So bread making wise, the quality of the flour and the wheat from which it's milled is better than it used to be, certainly far better than it used to be before the war, for instance.
Well, that's something. Far better. What about some of these wholemeal breads and the special breads we're getting in Australia at the moment?
Good point. When you say better in terms of you've got to think in terms of nutritional value or...
Well, that's the most important thing.
Quality. Well, now, I think it's been proved that all bread is a good food, whether it's wholemeal or white bread. It depends upon the person concerned who's eating the bread and just how their diet is balanced. But I would say for the average Australian, and I think most dietitians would agree with this, it would be immaterial whether they ate wholemeal or white bread. They are both good foods. Wholemeal bread does have a higher content of certain nutrients than white bread. It has a higher vitamin B1 content and more minerals in it. But on the other hand, it's got roughage, which helps some people and doesn't help others. Then again, that extra vitamin might just be necessary for the great majority of people. And in fact, I think the National Health and Medical Research Council in its investigations has proved that the nutritive value of our white bread is quite satisfactory.
Well, your department or your research institute is not only quite happy at the moment with the quality and the nutritional value of bread, but you're always working towards a better product.
Yes, I think there's been a definite improvement here. People don't realise perhaps that there are very strict health standards governing the bread industry, and people doubt sometimes. I think we're getting wholemeal bread as just white bread coloured, but that's not the case. The health department has its standards for this bread, and they have inspectors going around regularly checking samples and analysing them.
Well, thank you very, very much, Mr. Eric Bond from the Bread Research Institute of Australia.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This is 2GB in Sydney, and time now is 20 and a half minutes to 1.
There's something about the Mewen stores.
These are the specials of the week at all Mewen food stores. 8-ounce Weston's morning coffee biscuits, 16 cents. 8-ounce Arnott's Monte Carlo biscuits, only 23 cents. 16-ounce Daffodil salted cashews, 98 cents. Shop at Mewen food stores for quality and service.
In every suburb housewife store, there's something about a Mewen store.
Call Emily Grimshaw. Call Emily Grimshaw.
Emily Grimshaw, it is alleged that you are the writer of 600 poisoned pen letters. What possessed you?
My new Parker 61 pen, Your Honor. I couldn't stop writing with it. I told the butcher and the baker what I thought of them. That took a whole bottle of ink, but I didn't stop there. No, I switched to the cartridge filling system. 10,000 words. Then the reserve tap tank for 700 more words. But they stopped me.
Very well, Miss Grimshaw. You may enter your plea.
Please, Your Honor, please give me back my Parker 61.
Will the judge be tempted to keep Emily Grimshaw's Parker 61? Will someone remember him at Christmas with such a kingly gift? May this be a timely reminder that rich gifts, Parker style, begin at $2.95 and go up to $400.
Life becomes more colourful with Taubman's living colours.
Indeed it does. And they stay and stay. It's 19 minutes to 1 o'clock. Back to Roger.
Yes.
I'd like to talk to you about this old house of Addington at Ryde.
Oh, the place that's been restored there in Victoria Road.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, I'm ringing you as part of a last desperate effort to try and save Addington. It appears that the place is going.
They've had trouble getting money to keep it going, haven't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, last weekend they had what they called Foundation Day there, which was the official launching of the place to try and raise money to restore it.
And they didn't do too well, eh?
Well, they raised about $600 on the Saturday, but they need $15,000 within the next 3 weeks.
Ooh, gee, that's a pretty tall order, isn't it?
My word.
I know that they asked Ryde Council, and I think Ryde Council said no, because I think councils have got very limited scope in that area in donating money to that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, it's just that they donated $20,000 to the local tennis club, etc. And they couldn't see fit to donate any money at all.
I suppose that's the beautiful difference between what would be seen as a recreation purpose and a mere historical purpose. I think, it wasn't the Pope who said, don't forget your history. Well, what can we do to get hold of this money?
Well, we don't know. We had quite a number of things planned. We had only asked the council for $5,000, which we were hoping to stall everything off for a month or two with that.
Yes.
But they wouldn't even come across with that. So,
what's the National Trust's attitude towards the place?
well, we approached them, but unfortunately they're sort of very heavily financially tied up with a number of their own projects, and they just couldn't offer any money at all. They offered sort of technical assistance and architects, etc., but they said they couldn't give any money at all.
The place has been partly restored, hasn't it? It's been cleaned up. I know a lot of people have been working on it as a sort of a private gesture, isn't it?
Well, every weekend, probably about a dozen people go over there, and we've been working. We sort of cleaned it all out, sort of superficially cleaned, sort of patched a lot of the rooms up so it sort of looked good. But this was only sort of temporary. Quite a number of the rooms, the floorboards are rotten, the rafters are rotten, the whole house will have to be rebuilt. In fact, it's according to the architect who did Government House at Parramatta, that it's going to cost around $80,000 to $100,000 in the end.
What's its historical importance?
Well, it was first part of a land grant in 1794 to Mr. James Stewart. He built the back part of the house around 1795. Some of the bricks in there, some of the earliest ever made in Australia. It's the only known complete structure of its kind. They're sort of bricks that are just lumps of clay that have been put in an open wood fire. Then in 1820, Mr. Thomas Bowden, who was bought out by Samuel Marsden and Robert Peel, the founder of the English police force, came out and he built most of the front section and started up the first private boarding school in Australia there. Then in the 1880s, Sir Henry Parkes lived there for a while. Then it became the home of the Bensons, who are direct descendants of the first European born in Australia.
It's got pretty substantial links with our history then.
My word, it's not just an old house. It's really a part of Australia's history.
Has the Historical Society shown any interest in it?
Well, quite a number of people have shown interest, but a lot of people aren't prepared to put money into it because they think, we'll donate a couple of thousand and it'll fall through tomorrow and we won't get our money back.
Well, you don't expect to get your money back in a thing like that, do you? When you put it in and you put it in to be used and that's that.
That's right, but they feel, they donate it, the thing might fall through and they won't be able to see anything for their money. Well, this is sort of part of Australia's history. We're desperately trying to save it now. We've got 3 weeks now to raise $15,000. And we're sort of appealing to any large firm that would just like to loan some money for a while.
Supposing there are people listening who even want to give you what you might call the widow's mite, is there somewhere they can send it?
Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, I haven't got the box number of the trust.
Well, look, I'll tell you what to do. I've got a couple of thoughts about it. I'd like to talk to a couple of people. I don't know whether I can persuade anybody to be in it. And I won't be able to do it today because I've got to leave here and go off to the media conference immediately after the program. But if you'd like to ring back on 297333, leave me a name and an address and a phone number where we can get in touch with you. And in the meantime, if you can get hold of the address where donations can be sent, we'll broadcast that a bit later in the program if you pass it through to the girl on that number.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, so I ring you back on
297333. You won't ring me. Ring that number and ask to speak to Anne. They'll put you through to her and she'll take it all from you.
Okay, good. Thanks very much.
Okay then.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. 14 minutes past 1. Hello. Hello.
Hello, John.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I'm on the topic of conformity.
Yeah.
I feel that this is the way
it's meant this is evolution, and things should develop.
Yeah.
This is the way it is. And these people, like Sir Victor Windia, are being stubborn. They're trying not to be sort of carried away. They're trying to stagnate the progress of the world.
I don't agree with you. I think they're probably trying to hold some sort of order into the system we live in. I agree with you that you have to have change and you have to have evolution, otherwise you don't have any progress, but I don't believe that change can be just a matter for every different individual. I mean, do you go to school?
Yeah.
Well, just let's put it this way. How do you go to school? Do you go by bus or train or what?
Train.
Just supposing that, a couple of the train drivers decided one morning that they didn't want to run their trains to schedule because, they thought schedules were outdated and they wanted to evolve a more freewheeling system of train services. You could quite easily get yourself late for school and get into trouble. The point I'm trying to make is I believe that you have to change and I believe you have to evolve, but I think it has to be done in an ordered way and with the general approbation of society as a whole. I don't think you can do it at an individual level.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel that this is a sort of an attempt. Oh, well, I think there is a difference between someone just sort of forcing. I mean, this train driver isn't it because there's money in it, right? And he's doing it to benefit other people. Who gains by me having short hair?
This isn't the point. I mean, the question of conformity is not necessarily arguing with the question of change. You can conform and change as a group. It's a question of individual non-conformity that's involved in it.
Although group change would result from individual change, wouldn't it?
It may be motivated by individual change, but I don't think that individuals can afford to change so far that they become a rogue outside the herd and that they go so far from the herd that they've lost touch with it, because then they're not changing anything. They're simply becoming separated and isolated. I mean, I don't care whether you wear your hair long or not. A lot of my friends do, but I choose not to. You choose to wear your hair. That's only a matter of opinion. But I suppose what Sir Victor Windia was trying to say, and maybe he was overdoing it, I think he might have been, but what he was trying to say was this, that in any society, in any identifiable social group, such as a school or a club or any sort of association, the thing is formed with rules which are designed for the easy working of the whole organisation for itself and for the benefit of the individuals in it. And if all the individuals don't go along with the rules no longer work, and therefore the group no longer works.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some logic in that. I can see the argument of the person who says if we just remain static, we stagnate, we must change. But change, evolution, it's taken the world, thousands of millions of years to get where it is. Evolution, even social evolution, is a very slow process. You don't do it by one bloke refusing to, keep his feet off the desk in the classroom.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Aspro Soluble dissolves. For quick relief of headache and pain, Aspro Soluble. It works 2 1/4 times faster. This is a quick TV quiz. Now that you've just finished your dinner, what's the most delightful drink you could sip? No more clues now.
Nutrax fly spray is kind to sensitive noses. That's why Nutrax is better than ordinary fly sprays. Pleasantly perfumed, yet so effective. Nutrax, from the Flick people, still the only one you can live with.
Revolution presents a giant holiday premiere that brings together 2 of the biggest names in show business today, Tom Jones and Sammy Davis Jr. Don't miss one of the best musical hours this year, the Tom Jones Special, presented by EMI, part of 7's big summer lineup, 6:30 Saturday. This is the 7 Summer Revolution.
stay fresh. If you want to stay cool, if you want to stay fresh and cool all day, then you better use Spray Fresh, Spray Fresh, Spray Fresh, Spray.
Because Spray Fresh is fresh. The only way to stay fresh and cool all day. Spray Fresh keeps you dry. And Spray Fresh is the perfect deodorant for everyone. So throw away messy cream deodorants, forget sticky roll-ons, and all those stick deodorants that collapse. Spray Fresh keeps you fresh and dry all day.
Spray Fresh keeps you fresh.
Use Spray Fresh deodorant or Spray Fresh Extra Dry with time-release antiperspirant.
Sydney-wide discounts are the greatest.
A Sydney-wide discount department store is where you find really big discounts on everything for everybody every day, and where you find only top-quality national brands. Sydney-wide department stores with a big difference.
Incredible.
Discounts plus every traditional department store service. Home delivery, installation, warranties, lay-by or terms. Plus the biggest discounts. Sydney-wide. They're the discount kings.
Is built like a safe. A tiny time safe on your wrist. Swiss. Automatic. Beautiful. And it's called Zenith Defy. It defies elements that'd stop any ordinary watch.
Martini and Rossi, the world famous Vermouth. You're terribly extravagant.
Not at all, darling. Martini and Rossi cost a fraction more than those other Vermouths. But there it is. The Vermouth. So why not Martini and Rossi?
Why not indeed? Love you.
Buffoonery and Algarve. You are a garbage man, aren't you? Household refuse removal officer.
Come on, get in the queue. Take another look at the many faces of Warren Mitchell. Brought to you by Ron Hodgson Motors. Thursday at 8:30 on Channel 9.
This is Channel 9, first in Australia.
Flemings are really fabulous for service and savings too.
Since I've been a Qantas steward, I've mixed just about every drink. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of care to make a drink just the way it should be made. Getting the right ingredients, mixing the right proportions, even checking the temperature. Some people can be very particular. But then we've been looking after people for 50 years. From 18 to 80, everyone enjoys the light and lively taste of Rheingold. Beautiful Rheingold, and you'll always be right. Sparkling, almost ever.
That's still the shoulder, baby. No. No, it's a lot later, but then you go into the baby with the bottom, that's the stroke. That's it.
The Wizard Wonderland of Roselands at Christmas. We're off to see the Wizard of Oz and talk about presents with Santa Claus. We're off to see the Emmet Machines, Peter Pan and the Trampolines. Because. For an eye-popping, fun-shopping Roselands Christmas, make the trip from wherever you live. Explore the Wizard Wonderland of Roselands at Christmas.
Hello, girls. I'm Granny Smith from Mountain Maid. Well, would you believe we've done it again? Mountain Maid pie apple, that's good. But we've got two scrumptious new pie fillings. Pie peach and pie apricot.
Pie fillings from Mountain Maid. Chunky fruit slices from Mountain Maid. Apple, peaches, and apricots. Mountain Maid has the grooviest taste.
Available at all food stores and supermarkets.
This is Radio Sydney 2GB and the time 4 minutes past 9. To our network of vastly and sparsely spread stations throughout New South Wales, good morning to you. Welcome to the John Pierce Show, and particularly to those people just over the hill at Lithgow. Morning. To anybody else, like to give us a call on 221 1500. People from out of town, call us reverse charge trunk line. We'll be most happy to pay for the calls. Just keeping you in line with what's happening in Sydney this morning. His Holiness the Pope is at St Mary's at the moment. Later he'll be going out to Sydney Airport, and possibly later in the morning we'll be able to bring you some of the activity there. Meantime, that's some hours from now, so we'll keep in touch. The Prime Minister's invited a lot of people to Canberra next week to have a look at the reconstruction of the rural industries. And this would be about 10 years too late, I think, but yet there is still a hope. There'll have to be some hard talking, and all the old ideas will need to be chucked into Lake Burley Griffin. Just because a rural idea worked for the first 200 years of Australia is no reason that it should be continued with. Maybe we're producing some products and producing them well, but does that make people want to buy them? Maybe the whole economies of the industry will have to be so changed that the future may lie in large companies or cooperatives rather than in single self-employed farmers. And maybe it's time Australia brought water to the inland of the driest country on the face of the globe. We will watch next week in Canberra with great interest, but with, I'm afraid, more interest than hope. And if anybody wants to talk about that, give us a ring. That's what we're here for, on 221 1500. Good morning, John Pierce here.
Good morning.
How do you do, madam?
Look, I'd like to speak about our postal service.
Okay, go ahead.
We are now only getting 3 deliveries a week.
Ah, you're in an outlying suburb or in the country or where?
No, we're not in the country. We're only 3.5 miles from one of the very big suburbs.
And you're only getting 3 deliveries a week?
Yes.
Why is that?
The explanation is, up to yesterday, was that the contract has changed and they just haven't got time to make all the deliveries.
I think it's a lot of nonsense.
So do I.
Yes. Okay, that's what you've got a federal member of parliament for. Have you been on to him?
There's something. Yesterday, there's a couple down here that are pensioners. This lady waited all day for her pension. She rang up the grocer and told him not to deliver it until 3 o'clock, and she would have a pension check. He came at 3 o'clock, and he said that she said she didn't have a pension. He left the groceries, but he said, anyway, you're only getting 3 deliveries down here a week anyway. And
where is this? You can tell me where it is.
It's at Bankstown.
Just out of Bankstown?
Yes, in fact, you fly over it when you come up.
Madam, I fly over the whole of Australia and the world, so that proves nothing. How far out of Bankstown?
3.5 miles.
In what direction?
Bankstown Aerodrome.
You're at Bankstown Aerodrome way?
Yes.
Well, that's ridiculous. Look, we'll check this out with the post office and the GPO authorities this morning. We'll find out what's happening out there. In the meantime, you've got a federal member of parliament who's supposed to look after you. Ring him up. Who's your member of federal parliament? Gough Whitlam?
You out here?
You don't know?
No.
Oh.
I've never had any need, but this is...
You have a need to vote for him. Gough Whitlam's Parramatta. I don't know who your bloke is out there. Find out and get on his back there. That's what you're paying him all the money for. Eight minutes past 9.
Hi, darling. Gee, this room smells good. Been using a room freshener.
No, just new improved Flytox.
Flytox? Honey, I know Flytox is the best insect killer there is. Flytox kills flies and mozzies fast, but you've been using a room freshener.
No, new improved Flytox has a new lemon fragrance. It cleans out the room while it cleans out the flies.
New improved Flytox with new lemon fragrance. Cleans out the room while it cleans out the flies.
You know, if you're a bit of a snob and you like the Joneses to keep up with you, you are just nothing until you've been on a cruise.
I don't suggest that this should be your only motivation, but lots of people have been, and I've yet to meet one person who said they didn't enjoy jumping a ship and getting out of Australia for a few days. How many days? I want to tell you about a cruise for 33 days. It's organised by World Travel Headquarters. It's a treasure hunt cruise. That means somebody's going to get the treasure at the end, and the treasure is a round-the-world trip for free. But let that not be your motivation either. 33 idyllic days in next May it goes away in the Iberia, and if you ring World Travel Headquarters on 284841 and talk to Gail Good, she'd be happy to tell you. 284841.
A word from Huntley and Palmer's Biscuits. I say, Palmer, old boy, the entries are flowing in for that wonderful week's holiday at the Travelodge Hotel on Taveuni. That great new island resort near Fiji. That's the one. And not forgetting those superb dinners for two in the Silver Spade at the Chevron Hotel. And we've given away $10 Christmas hampers already, and there's more to come. So hurry and get your entries in now. Send your name, address, and telephone number on the inside of a Huntley and Palmer's Biscuit packet to Post Office Box 2516 GPO, Sydney, as often as you like.
Okay, here we go now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How do you do, madam? Yes, indeed.
A few times I have heard you comment about an organisation called CARP.
CARP, yes.
Against rising prices.
Yeah, that's a funny mob, aren't they?
Well, I don't know why you say that, because you refer to them as wearing red petticoats.
No, I have never said that about them or any other organisation. I have never, ever said any organisation wears red petticoats. It's not an expression I use.
And also...
Would you like to apologise?
Well, it was told to me. I didn't hear you say it.
Well, you see, now somebody you know doesn't tell the truth.
But you do refer to them as big political drums.
No, I've never said this. I said they're a vaguely disguised group representing a well-known political party.
Yes, well, that's the same thing.
Okay.
But
I don't believe in drums, you see.
Definitely non-political.
You're joking.
No.
You're joking.
No, definitely non-political.
Oh, good.
Non-sectarian, etc.
So's the Liberal Party, dear. They just do it for fun.
No, but truly, we are trying to bring the prices down.
And how are you going to do that, dear?
Well, by bringing it to the notice of people.
Bringing what to the notice of people?
Let me speak for a minute.
Oh, you said you're going to bring it to the notice of people. What are you going to bring to the notice of people?
Now, for instance, some shops charge so much more than others. And about these gimmicks, you say that...
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'll debate this one with you because I know the facts of merchandising.
Yes, well, so do I. But anyway...
What's your background for knowing it? I've spent a lifetime in advertising.
Yeah, well, not in advertising.
Yes, in advertising.
Businesses of my own. And all my family.
And have they been successful businesses?
Yes, very successful.
I wonder about this because this CARP mob have said anything that is sold with the sort of prize as a giveaway you're against. Now, if you know anything about merchandising, you'll know that that's the thing to be in favour of.
Yes, but listen. Now, the organisers of these promotions,
yes,
they charge the manufacturers $8,000.
I don't care if it's $8 million. If it sells more of the product, it brings the price down.
Why?
Well, you say why?
Yes.
If you sell more of a product, you make more of a product. The more you make, the better you're able to produce it at a better price.
The better millions you can make for the big organisations and the overseas people.
Which overseas people?
Well, now...
Now, you said you're not political, and my word, you're starting to sound it, aren't you?
Oh, no. I shouldn't think so.
Well, who are the overseas people who aren't political?
The American firms, the English firms.
I see.
Our money's going over there.
Oh, well, how are we going to keep it here?
In places like that.
Well, how are we going to keep it here?
Keep the money here?
I've got a wonderful idea to keep prices down. What say we don't advertise anything at all? And then we wouldn't waste all that money on advertising, and we wouldn't have great big expensive newspapers or radio stations or television stations.
It's too much advertising.
I see. Okay, well, what say we cut it all out?
If an article is good, it shouldn't need advertising.
Yes, but how are you going to know about it?
A little bit of advertising.
I see. Well, what is a little bit of advertising of, say, a piece of soap which sells 50 million a year? What's a little bit of advertising? Now, I want to ask you this. Why do you think Lever Brothers, Lever and Kitchen, and Palmolive advertise soap? Do you think they advertise a lot because they like to, or do you think they advertise a lot because they have to?
No, not because they have to.
Well, why do they do it?
You've got to see their profits run into millions.
And how many millions would there be if they didn't advertise at all?
Well, they'd have enough, certainly. But
enough for what?
Well, to carry on and...
But carry on what?
Give people, instead of putting things in expensive...
Oh, I see. Well, let's not package them either. Let's wrap them up in old newspaper.
Now, listen. Now, you can't wash your face or your clothes.
I wonder about some of the carp ladies.
But if they put it into plastic bags, like early Mornar, for instance.
Or how about, like, Soviet Russia?
Oh, I'm not talking about Russia.
You could have fooled me, dear.
I'm talking about Australia. We are paying extra for these packages.
Oh, madam.
And advertising and all these...
Who brainwashed you, dear?
I didn't need any...
Because anybody who's run a business like this, as you say, and run a successful business, oh, dear, it must have been big.
I'm not saying it was...
But you'd like a rough old product without any smell, without any texture, without any feel, wrapped up in a bit of clear plastic, would you?
Now, listen...
And you think that'd keep the price down?
I had a business...
Do you think that'd keep the price down?
No, it would.
Of course it wouldn't, madam.
Even so much more for these fancy packages and advertising.
How many do you think you'd sell of a product wrapped in a bit of clear plastic?
Well,
The only thing you can wrap in clear plastic is goldfish, madam. 9:30.
What's for lunch?
Sausages and smash.
Yeah, you mean mash.
I mean smash from Cadbury. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
Potato from Cadbury?
Perfect mashed potato from Cadbury. You'll think from the taste, lover, I washed, peeled, boiled and mashed them myself.
Fancy Cadbury making mash.
Not mash. Smash. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
New Cadbury Smash. Perfect mashed potato in seconds.
Just before he left for the international airport this morning, the chief steward said,
"Tell me, have you ever thought about going on a round-world group tour by air? Well, believe me, an escorted air cruise is a very good thing to do, especially a Qantas Cavalcade round-world air cruise. You get to travel to places like the USA, England, Europe, and the Orient. And what's more, you get looked after all the way by a personal tour director. 2 months of sightseeing and enjoying yourself with people in your own age group. Never any language problems there. You know, going by air has its benefits too. You get to places so much faster, have lots more time and lots more fun. And because you pay for everything in that one price, you don't have any money problems. You know, the more you think about it, the better it becomes. I think Qantas have come up with a pretty good idea with these Qantas Cavalcade round-world air cruises. Why don't you find out some more about them? See your Qantas travel agent or ring us here at 2GB 20360 and we'll send you a Cavalcade brochure.
For Sydney for the rest of the day, rather sultry with freshening northeasterly winds, sunny periods with clouds increasing tonight. So sultry with gusty northeasterly winds. This is the John Pierce Show. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Pierce.
Hello, madam. Yes.
You'll probably shoot me down in flames.
I shouldn't think so.
Well, it's about watering the inlet. What on earth are we going to do with it if we do get water out there?
Grow things.
What?
Grow things.
Yeah, but grow what? We can't grow wheat and we can't grow sheep.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, we've got a surplus of wheat, haven't we?
Well,
On these places and all that rubbish.
oh, it's only because we grew some wheat that nobody wanted to buy.
Yeah, but won't they do that again? I mean, I'm only, as I said, a humble housewife. I don't know much about it.
Well-
It just seems uneconomical to open up a great big country that overproduces anyway.
Well, we don't overproduce. This is the point. We still import a heck of a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I met a chap the other day down at Young who got out of sheep and went into pigs.
Yes.
Making a mint.
But what do you do with all the pigs if you're going to have the whole of, the whole of Australia?
You get in first, love.
Beg your pardon?
You get in first. You start
Well, my husband's a grazier, and I can tell you, we have a pretty rough trot at the moment.
Of course you are, dear, because nobody told you or nobody at your place did some research on the future of the wool industry. Now, there are people walking around Sydney at the moment saying, I told you so 5 years ago, and you say, prove it, and you will find that they can produce paper where they said, I told you so 5 years ago. And nobody believed them 5 years ago because it was going all right then.
So in the middle of Australia, we're going to grow things.
Why not?
We can't grow wheat, though, can we?
I don't know. I don't know at all. Let's find out what people want. Now, the Murrumbidgee irrigation area doesn't happen to be starving to death at the moment.
No.
Because they produced some rice, and then when they saw a demand for it, went into long grain rice. Exporting it they are, did you know? The Murrumbidgee irrigation area also said, let's grow table wines, and people, all the purists, said, you can't grow wine under irrigation. Brother, are they growing some fine stuff? Hey, just 2 products.
How many millions would we need to open it up?
I don't know, 100, 1,000, millions, who cares?
Yeah.
Or would you just be as happy to leave it as a desert and let some other people come in and take the country away one day?
No, I think it'd be a great idea, absolutely must.
All right, well, why don't we do it?
Yes, why don't they? Haven't got any money. It's better than opera houses.
How much do you think the Opera House... The Opera House wouldn't buy a bicycle trip from here to your place.
That's right.
$85 million. What's $85 million?
It's the beginning when there is no beginning, isn't there?
What?
I mean, it's the beginning. If we had the money for the Opera House and the opening up Australia, it's the beginning, isn't it?
This is like saying, why pay politicians when you've got pensioners? They mean different things. Would you have Australia without an Opera House? How about without a Sydney Harbour Bridge?
Oh, well, that's different. That's functional. I mean, people, you couldn't drive over the...
Well, I don't know where else you can hold functions except at the Opera House.
Oh, there's plenty of places you can hold them. You can hold them in the...
Yeah, I know, the tin-shedded Cara or something.
Oh, all right, look, I'm going now.
Yeah, well, no, you don't go there. We've got plenty of money to pay for the phone call.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not ringing from the country. I'm ringing from the city.
Did you pay for the phone call?
I'm paying for the phone call. Yes.
Easy come, easy go. 25 to 10.
Remember those long, hot summer afternoons. Remember those unquenchable thirsts. And Sharp Brothers' long, cool drinks. Sharp Brothers drinks, home delivered. They've been around as long as anyone can remember. Today, they bring you 12 delicious flavors, 3 low calorie. All good old Sharp Brothers value and quality. This summer, have Sharp Brothers deliver to your door again. Ask the driver of one of their red and white trucks, or ring Sharp Brothers, 760477.
24.5 to 10.
Will the defendant answer the question? How did you make those counterfeit notes?
With my Parker 75, Your Honor. Dashed fine present from my wife, you know.
Would the defendant please come to the point?
That's it, Your Honor. The point, or rather, the nib. With a Parker 75, you can dial the exact nib position to suit your writing style. I just got a little carried away and tried a few other writing styles, too. Remarkable pens. I say, you do have a Parker yourself, Your Honor?
Will the judge admit not owning a Parker pen? Will someone remember him at Christmas with a Parker? May this be a timely reminder that rich gifts, Parker style, begin at $2.95 and go up to $400.
Give the judge a Parker fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello there.
I went to an agency who are advertising for people to go on TV commercials and film extras and such.
Yes.
And they said to go on their books, then I'd have to pay them $50.
Well, do you want to do that?
What, to pay them $50? Well, if I think it'd be worth it, I wouldn't mind. If I know that I'd be getting work to pay for them.
Okay, so you have to find out if indeed they are getting work for other people, won't you?
Yes.
Now, how do you do that? You say to them, would you give me the address of, or phone numbers of at least half a dozen people so I may ring them up?
Oh, yes.
That's one way to check them out. There are good agencies operating in this field, and there are some who are upon whom the sun rarely shines. They're so shady. The fact that they've been established for a long time might be a good test. Normally speaking, to me anyhow, just off the top of my head, $50 sounds a lot of money just to be listed. They obviously have to do some things. They have to get some photographs done of you and circulate these things.
Yes, that's right.
I'd say $50 is a lot of money.
Yes, that's what I thought. But if I thought it was going to be worth it, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, let me give you another clue. Might I suggest you call the Actors' Equity and speak to Mr. Alexander, who's the secretary, and maybe he can give you a bit of guidance off the top on that one too.
Oh, good, right. Thank you.
Okay, there's a starting point anyway.
Thanks very much.
Good on it. Might be quite okay. These agency ones are quite strange. We had a call day before yesterday from a lady who said she had lent her baby to a television commercial and they had promised to pay her 3 months after they completed the job, and she hadn't heard from them since. Well, fancy that. This is Radio Sydney 2GB and the time is 10 to 10. It's Racing Information with Garth Carey.
A just superseded Falcon for only $1,999. Normally $2,682. This is a great offer from Jubilee Motors, 155 Parramatta Road, 5 Dock. Get out now to Sydney's latest and greatest new Ford showroom. That's where the big Ford deals are. All the new model Fords are there too, and Jubilee's huge trade-in deals are producing the lowest changeover figures you've ever seen. Trade in now and get money back for Christmas. Jubilee Motors, 155 Parramatta Road at 5 Dock. Phone them on 740241.
Good morning, everyone. An 8-event program at Kembla Grange, the second of their 2-day meeting. The weather fine, track good, 28 scratchings for a TAB check total of 211. From race 1, take out 2 Wentworth Court and 7 Caleb, 2 and 7. Race 2, 3 Major Steed, 6 Remember Me and 12 Scholarship, 3, 6 and 12.